live.
So you connect to YouTube.
Yeah. So I'm going to just really quickly check and see, because it's going to pop up and turn off my phone. It's supposed to be streaming, but we'll see. And once I can see that it is actually live, then I will just start talking. But let me just, we're live. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to shut this down and we are muted. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the first ever, we've done multiple webinars, but the first ever ASC webinar series. We're going to episode this. Gary, do you have to say something?
Yeah, first ever. Hello, everybody.
Oh. Gary is on a plane right now, and so we're here and super comfortable. Gary is on a plane, and this is the commitment to getting things done. He is going to be on this webinar with us, and he will chime in as he can, and I will facilitate from here. But this is a webinar series that we're starting that we're going to do monthly. Let me tell you a little bit about the ASC first. Gary and I run this program called the Accountability Success Circle. It is a accountability program and a networking program, and just all things, get support, mastermind, coaching, whatever it is. It's basically a program that's designed to help you have more fun while getting stuff done and really focus on the things that you want to accomplish in your life so that you can be happy and fulfilled and all of those things. So every month we would have a conversational call with our clients, but we wanted to make this a little bit more visible to people because I think there's many people that don't know that this program even exists. And so we wanted to share a little snippet of what we do behind the scenes with you guys so that you can learn from some of this content, because we want everybody to learn all of this stuff. And it gives you an opportunity to just know more about this program and how it might benefit you. So a little bit of a side note, some housekeeping things. So every month we have a theme that guides our program. And this month we chose the theme of vitality because we talk a lot about productivity, play, doing things that light us up. And a lot of the time we need energy for that. And so we're going to take these webinars and dive a little bit deeper into the monthly theme. And every once in a while, we'll have a special guest expert with us. And so today we have one of those guest experts, which is Alicia, who is actually my yoga instructor. We were supposed to do a yoga session today, but it's actually probably good that that didn't happen. And we're going to talk today about all things related to our energy, because it is so, so, so important. It's the thing that keeps us moving. It helps keep us productive, and it helps us do stuff, which is what a lot of people who come to this program generally want to do. They want to be more productive. They want to be more happy. They want to just have more fun and get stuff done. And before I let Alicia introduce herself, Gary, is there anything that you want to say? I know that you're...
No, April, you're doing an amazing job. That's what I want to say. Also, you hit on all the points as far as the ASC, and this is us pulling back the curtain so that people on the outside can get a taste of what we give all of our clients on the inside.
Just a little drip, just a little taste. So Alicia, why don't you probably do a better introduction of yourself than I would, but tell everybody what you do with all of your amazing work.
So I am a yoga practitioner, a Reiki master. I teach fitness formats such as Pilates, Tabata, HIIT, and I also support in guided meditations, which I love to bring aromatherapy, breathing techniques, plugging people back into their energy centers, which are also called chakras, which means spinning disc. And we have 7 main ones, but many other ones that move throughout the body. And we'll get more into that as the time goes on. But I'm all about supporting people into plugging back into their heart space and connecting with their inner child, whether it's through a mind, body, or spirit practice, really taking that time to go inward and create stillness and peace and come back to your center so that you can continue to have vitality and life force energy to move forward with goals and tasks such as fitness, mindfulness, healing, whatever it is for each person's specific intention.
Yeah. So Alicia and I have been working together since May.
April or
May. So I finally decided that I wanted to go into yoga. And so the universe brought us together, and I've been doing a lot of exploration in the yoga space, and she's been doing Reiki on me every so often. And I definitely feel a very different energy than I did a few months ago. And I definitely carry a lot more masculine energy just because I'm like, do. And so we've been working together and doing yin yoga, which I don't know, you should explain it because it's better. A little better.
Yin focuses on deep restorative stretches. So it's all seated series. It focuses on the concept of merging the yin and the yang energies. So when you hold poses for 2 to 3 minutes, not only are you breaking up the fascia tissue on the top of your muscle, but you're also breathing into some uncomfortable spaces, especially if you're storing tension within the hips or the shoulders or within the neck, wherever each person individually carries it. So for those 2 to 3 minutes of that pose, you really get to sit there and nurture the body, breathe in and out of the tension, and really create that connection to clearing. Our yin energy is considered our feminine energy, and our feminine energy is our creative energy. We both carry our masculine and we both carry feminine. So to bring the two together really creates that sense of wholeness and that sense of balance and peace that we all essentially are looking for in life. So yin is great to just kind of sit down, get outside of your mundane tasks, and to really tune into your body and see, where does the stress shift from week to week? Where are you storing your trauma? Some people may not even be aware of where they're storing it because they don't take the time to even turn the brain off to talk to the body. And yoga is a way that you really get to form that sacred relationship with communicating with your body. So yin is deep, restorative, juicy stretching that just focuses on nurturing and loving yourself as a whole.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I'm going to also take a check every once in a while to check into the chat. I know that some people are having trouble logging in, so I'm going to just quickly check and see. Like, we've got Gary walking through the airport right now, and I'm trying to figure out how to make sure that he is going, because the live stream is going.
Live stream's going.
Yeah, I see that there's, for some reason, it's not showing up online. So we'll have to hopefully share this a little bit later so that we
crossing my fingers.
Yes, absolutely. So, okay. Oh, look at it. So anyways, okay. So first things first, the topic is, and the theme is vitality. And just to pull the definition from it, is this idea of exuberant physical strength or mental vigor, which is something like a person of great vitality, or the capacity for survival or for the continuation of a meaningful or purposeful existence, and the power to live or grow. So we're basically talking about energy here, and this idea of, sorry, you guys, it's like technical difficulties. As I mentioned before, energy is so important because it is the source of all of our output, and we all care about wanting to do certain things. Sorry, I'm like trying to see if I can get, we've got all of this crazy we'll do it this way. We've got Gary.
Yes.
Sorry,
Do you want me to keep talking?
I might need to put you on gallery view because for some reason it's being a little silly. But anyways, see, that's working. I don't know. This is what happens when I have somebody here with me. Let's see. Okay, let's do this. We'll do active speaker. I'll just do that. I'm just going to keep my fingers crossed that this works okay. All right. So when we leave our energy unattended, it leads to being unhappy, it leads to burnout, it leads to health issues. And everybody knows that I had all of those things 5 years ago, and which is why this idea of energy is such an important conversation for us. And some of this work to preserve and sustain and revitalize ourselves comes from practice with mindset, but also can come from energy or physical things that we do. And so we're going to talk about those things today. And so first things first, one of the things that I wanted to talk about is just kind of the philosophy of energy. And so for me, in the coaching program that I was certified through, is I don't know if this is like frozen on Gary. I'm just going to double check. Oh, he got logged off. So maybe it's going to be just us for a little bit. So one of the things that we talk about in IPEC is this idea of two different types of energy, and both forms of energy are needed to just go through life, right? And Gary's hopping back in a second. Mm-hmm. But those two types of energy are anabolic energy and catabolic energy. The catabolic energy is more of a draining fight or flight type of energy that you use in those times of stress, when you are being chased by a lion, or you are sprinting to try to get to a meeting that you're late for. So it kind of gives you that energy and that oomph to really get moving, and it can be really productive in a sense that it kind of gets you to where you need to be. However, it also can be used in a way where the energy might be more destructive and draining, because it will deplete you very easily. You'll notice that when you're running a sprint, you're putting all of that energy, and then all of a sudden you need some time to rest. Whereas anabolic energy, which is the energy that we focus on trying to leverage a little bit more, is more of the constructive, the energizing, the where the creative energy is stored, where you're in that energy of service. And so a lot of the philosophy of IPEC is focused on making sure that we try to maximize the time in this anabolic energy. How about you, Alicia? Why don't you talk a little bit about just any philosophies around energy that come up in the work that you do?
For me, grounding is so important to being able to maintain energy levels that offer sustainability. So a grounding technique could be just simply taking a 5-minute practice in the morning. I like to sit down and do some deep breathing exercises before I start my day. It really offers me the ability to kind of move through the rest of my day really in that center. So I think meditation is such an important tool to support in allowing the body to integrate into whatever you're currently experiencing on a need by need basis. So breath work is another amazing practice. There's so many different kinds. You have box breathing, annuloma breathing, holotropic breathing, swoon breathing. So the great thing is once you start to take the time to understand your breath a bit more, you can learn what breath techniques really support in shifting and clearing, whether you're feeling overwhelmed and super excited, or you're just feeling tired, or you're feeling fatigued and you're having insomnia. So these have been a couple ways that I really reboot and reset my day. Essential oils, breathing in like orange oil with peppermint and lemongrass, really invigorating and will wake you up and enhance focus and creativity. So I do like to combine different holistic alternative methods into my daily regimen, along with yoga or Pilates or doing a nature hike. I love to walk barefoot when I'm walking my dog. Like the littlest things to just plug in to yourself, to plug into your day, to plug into the earth beneath you that's sustaining all of us each and every day. And I find that grounding techniques are a number one game changer in anyone's life.
Yeah, she tells me to do that a lot. I don't know if I listen, but
I like to walk around barefoot. Even if you're just standing outside and you're just feeling the grass beneath your feet, tuning into your sensations. We have touch, taste, smell, sight, and our intuition. So we have all of these extra senses that if we take that time to slow down, we can kind of hear what our body has to say to us before we either get triggered into a fight or flight mode, or we feel completely depleted. We can kind of come back to our center. Baths. Bubble baths. Yes, everybody should take time for a bath. They feel great. And no one's going to bug you in the bathtub. People leave you alone and your phone's not there.
Yeah.
So there's so many, I call them self-love tools.
I'm going to move. Sorry.
Those are a few of my self-love tools.
That's
journaling too is a great way to kind of like release any built up energy and also get clear on your intention, especially when it comes to planting seeds and goals. We know that those take time. And I like to read. Form of reading is a form of meditation too. And I find that when I take the time to do the little things that I enjoy for myself, I almost have more energy to give out because I took that time to give to myself first.
Yeah. So that's awesome.
I think that covers like a good handbag kit of tools to share.
Yeah, for sure. And we're going to definitely talk about a lot more. And I know Gary is like trying to get on and off. And so you guys might be experiencing this. So we're having a lot of technical difficulties today, but that doesn't stop us. So I don't know if he can get on because he might have missed it. So I'm going to just continue. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about is just kind of how to assess your energy and how to then increase your awareness so that you can make appropriate adjustments to avoid burnout. Because a lot of times we will put our energy into things, and everybody that I know is always going and trying to, for the, just to survive. And it can be difficult because sometimes life gets that way. I don't know if that happens for you, but there are days, even this morning, just trying to get everything set up was just trying to rush and hurry. And that definitely burns a lot of energy. And so in this practice of kind of taking a look at our energy levels, self-awareness is super key, right? Like if we don't realize that we're going down this path, we're not going to know that we even need to make a change. Mm-hmm. But a lot of it, in my opinion, I feel, in this self-awareness, there's this idea of, really taking some time, which I know for you busy people might be like, I don't want to do that. But for people who want to have more energy to continue to do the things that they want to do, you have to take some time and just sit and reflect and be aware of what's actually going on. And it doesn't need to be anything super crazy, but it's just like when somebody that you meet on, a friend of yours, if you're walking down the street and you say like, hey, how are you? It's that question of, how am I? How do I feel? And so we'll talk a little bit about the tactics that I kind of do to do this on a regular basis, because if we don't have the self-awareness, we can't really make any changes. And, everybody who knows me, I feel like I say that over and over and over again. It always, always, always starts with this idea of self-awareness. But it's not just asking yourself on a whim, how are you doing or how are you feeling? There's also got to be some structure to kind of keep that sustainable, because energy is always coming and going. So we always have to start with self-awareness. Gary, I don't know if your video or your audio
Can you hear me?
work. Do you have anything that you want to chime in on just this idea of assessing your energy levels?
Yeah, Alicia, she mentioned some amazing things about how energy comes and goes. And just like what Apryl said, it's all about awareness. One thing, and this is very relevant, I was talking to one of our clients at ASC, and this client was talking about how she wakes up in the middle of the night because she has all these ideas. And energy comes and goes. And so this is a question for all the people watching. What are you doing to release the energy of the day? Of all those ideas that came at you throughout the day, do you have a process at the end of your day to just let it go? And I know Apryl, as part of her book, she talks about this, and this is part of the ASC program, is the end of the day journaling, to journal what you got done and what you didn't get done. And that is a great process to just release everything so that you can properly lay your head down and go to sleep. And that's one of the things that will help you just not wake up in the middle of the night because you have all these ideas flowing, things that you need to do. So I just wanted to just throw that out there.
Yeah, thank you. And Alicia, how about you in terms of this idea of assessing energy levels? How do you work with your clients to do that, to just even get a sense of, where they're at, and so that they know what types of actions that they need to take to address their energy levels and whatnot?
It always comes back to body awareness. So knowing where your energy is starting to get built up, when you start to store onto energy that's not really self-serving anymore, you'll start to store it either if people have neck pain, shoulder pain, stomach pain, low back pain, hip pain, and all of these pains are associated with different chakra centers in the body, which each chakra center contains specific energies that we all have. So, like, for instance, if you're carrying a lot of your stress in your throat, but you're not taking the time to tune in to see where that's coming from, then you can stop and ask yourself, okay, this is my throat. Where is my communication out of a balance? Where can I communicate from a more grounded place? Where could I express myself more freely? If you move in and you notice that you hold your stress in your shoulders, you may round down and close your heart off more. So then you get to really tune into the different parts of your body and say, okay, well, where am I not giving and receiving? Where can I be more gentle and compassionate and kind towards myself, or even kind towards others? So you can start to read your body as you move through your energy centers. You get down by your belly button, you have your solar plexus, which is your power center. And that's where you hold your willpower, your inner strengths, your beliefs, your values. So if you're having mid back pain, you could ask yourself, and you also hold your fears there. Where am I moving from fear-based thinking? Where am I not moving due to fears? Where am I not living in alignment with the things that I value and are of importance? So this is the beauty of knowing and addressing this relationship with your body, because then you can get a clear vision on where you get to move forward and lead with that momentum, and not allow that stagnation to build up and deplete your energy. And we'll travel down, since we already started the centers. When you go down by your hips, we store our emotions in our hips. So if you're having hip pain, low back pain, sciatic pain, you can ask yourself, where am I out of balance with expressing my goals, my passions, my sensuality, leading with passion, and being playful? Or you get all the way down to the base of your spine, which is your root. And that's where you carry your safety, your security, your protection, your financial abundance, your material needs. So you really have the opportunity to tune in to different parts of your body and really hear what it has to say on a whole. And I really liked what Gary said about having all these ideas and then writing them down and being able to lay your head down at night and not having these ideas start to spill out and kind of ruin your REM sleep. Think about it. You're drawing them down from your crown chakra, right? So if you have blocks up here, you might not feel connected to yourself, or connected to others, or connected to that momentum of your goals. Or in your brow center, this is where those creative ideas come from, our intuition, that inspired way of thinking and feeling, that connection to your higher self. So we have to take that time to put things down on paper and really isolate it and crystalline it into, this is what we did, this is what I have to do, and get grounded in that energy so that you can shift what's not serving you and you can run with what's helping you.
Love that. I love that. So it is really, really interesting, because when you talk about all these different areas, that whole self-awareness, I mean, I don't even think I know all of, I don't even think I knew all of that before today. But I think it was a couple of years ago, I was doing some sort of energy healing, and they had me look at where I was feeling this the stress and the tension. And I never really paid attention to my body and how I was feeling when I was stressed. I just knew emotionally that I was stressed. But I do carry a lot of tension and stress in my lower back when I'm stressed out. And ever since that was brought to my attention, I use that as a way to remind myself, okay, hey, I'm pushing it a little bit too far. I need to reel it in a little bit. I need to slow down and really take some time to address the stress in my back, either by going and taking a walk around the house, or a walk around the block, or, just standing outside for a little bit, to just kind of mix it up and not allow that stress to perpetuate. But So what does that mean when if I carry a lot of the stress in my back?
So you could be withholding a lot of emotions. You could be leading with, as you know, more of your masculine energy,
Yeah.
less of the feminine energy. And it's so important that each of us embrace our sensual energy. And then also we carry our material needs being met. So you can also notice when that flares up, are there things that are on your mind that you're concerned about
Yeah.
in certain areas? And
Yeah.
then you can kind of come back to the patterns as they flare up again. You can tune in each time.
Yeah.
And with anything like a test study, come 4 or 5 times later, you tune into this area and there's one specific thing that keeps popping up. Well, now you've got your finger on the trigger, and now you can find that way to come back into your center, not run with whatever thoughts are fueling you. And then on an intuitive level, like you said, go for a walk, maybe stretch, move around the house, and listen to your body and what will work well for you to clear that energy.
Yeah. So this kind of leads into and segues into the meat of this conversation, because we can talk about energy all day long, and I know that we only have 40 minutes here to share with you on the importance of energy and how we can make sure that we are preserving it, sustaining it, and all of these things. But to really start thinking about the actual action steps that you can take to um, really leverage the energy that you have, how to create more of it, right? Because we're like batteries, right? Once those batteries are drained, or the rechargeable batteries, we need some sense to recharge. And that might come in the form of sleep, it might come in the form of breathing, or just even taking rest. And we need to have a good balance of that in order to thrive in what we're doing in life. And so I wanted to share a couple things from like the tactical side and the productivity side in terms of making sure that I'm constantly checking in with energy. Gary, when I'm done, I'd like you to talk a little bit about just different power ups and energy from the play perspective to kind of increase energy. And then Alicia, I would love for you to kind of share a little bit about different body work that we can do to really keep this energy going. So that's what's coming next. So from my perspective, in the idea of productivity, so we talked about how reflection and self-awareness is key. And I have a very set structure on how I continually do these things that we can call self audits or reflection time. People can journal, people can do whatever they want, but some of the process, which we'll actually talk about in next month's webinar, is just this idea of creating an annual life plan. And you look at everything from every aspect of your life, which is your relationships, your work, your health, your family, all of these different things and different components that make up your life, and create a plan on where you actually want to go, right? Because you can't really take action on anything unless you know what outcomes you'd like to see. And then once you create this plan, then it goes into a little bit of creation and maintenance mode where for me, what I do is at the end of every month, I will take this plan and look at the different areas and kind of self assess. How am I feeling about the things that I've accomplished with regard to this specific area of life? Is there anything that I need to change? Is there anything that I want to do differently or try new as part of this grand plan? And I do this on a monthly basis because if you don't check in with yourself on a regular basis, and it doesn't need to be, it could be daily, it could be hourly if you'd like, it could be monthly, it could be quarterly, whatever feels right for you. I used to do quarterly, but now I've gotten into a science where I can do monthly check-ins with myself, but to just think about, how am I spending my energy? Am I spending it on what matters? Do I need to shift energy? Is something not serving me anymore? I ask myself these questions. So it's a little bit of a conversation with myself. And sometimes it's really quick because it's like, nope, I'm feeling good with what I'm doing, and I can move on to the next month. But it's that constant touch point that is so key. And so I really would make that suggestion to get into a practice of doing a self audit. however works for you. If you're just starting, you might just want to check in every few months after you create that annual plan. And we'll talk about that more next month. But having those checkpoints, it could be daily at some points. If you feel like you're really overwhelmed and you need some time to, you really, really need to make sure that every little day that you're doing something, something needs to, you need to, make sure that you are on target in a shorter amount of time and make changes. So you might want to do it daily, even for a little bit.
I do have a fun little thing that you could do daily, because I think with energy, it's also about like, right, we live in a world where instant gratification is like what people are usually looking for.
Isn't that what we're all about, right? Everybody wants instant gratification with the way that things move these days.
So a beautiful way to keep your the momentum going and keeping your energy levels feeling fulfilled and satisfied within you holding yourself accountable is I love to journal all my goals, big, small, medium, and then I set the intention to accomplish 3 small tasks a day, making my bed. And then I set the goal to accomplish 3 larger ones a week. For instance, for me personally, I'm always on the mat, to where me getting on the mat as a student, right, I really get to prioritize that time. So that might be one of my big larger goals a week is to attend a yoga class. Then you have the big spectrum, right? Those big goals, those 5, 10-year-old, well, they are 10-year-old visions and missions, right? Because when you're leading with passion, that is your inner child putting its best foot forward. And then I like to target onto 3 large goals that I focus in on. But what I've noticed, because in 2016, I went through depression, and through doing this, it really helped me build that momentum of feeling proud of myself. So plant 3 seeds daily, whether they could be small ones, putting your laundry away, going for a 20-minute walk, making your bed, 3 larger ones, reading a book for 30 minutes, going and attending a class or a workshop or a group, or maybe socializing with a friend that you haven't seen for a while. And then, if you're in the process of writing a business, putting some of those info structures in, doing some of the template work. And then down the road, it's just this ebb and flow to where you constantly are proud and you're rewarding yourself. Because how many of you are going to pat yourself on the back for making your bed if you don't take the time to realize that that's something that's important for you?
Yeah, for sure.
So that was my little thing to
interject for sure. And this shows up differently for everyone, right? Some people might feel so like, okay, I'm going to just do one thing. I mean, some there was a time where I was like, I will just be happy if I can just floss for one day. And then, because I was not flossing, and now it's become a part of my nightly routine. So don't, take what we're saying and be like, I need to totally revolutionize the way that I'm running my life, because it's really, really hard to make that change so fast and dive into it so quickly. But at the same time, you want to think about, what little things can I change and how can I slowly put in a structure that I can feel good about? And so ease your way into it. I'm going to turn it over to Gary now, if he's available to chat about different things and tactics that you can share to boost your energy and clear mental clutter that can drain you.
Yes. So once you've done all the things that Alicia mentioned, you've journaled all your goals, you have all that stuff laid out. Now it's all about getting on the day-to-day rhythm. And as Apryl mentioned earlier, sometimes as busy professionals as we are, we get on this train of like, go, 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 go. And we start to realize that even though we may get enough sleep, by the middle of the day, we feel like our batteries are drained. It's almost like you got an old school iPhone and it depletes its charge by like mid-morning, and you only thing you did was like listen to music and went on like Facebook, and you're like, why is it always depleting? So here's some actionable things to help you keep that going. And first and foremost, does everyone remember what it was like to go and have recess as a kid? Remember that? You went to school and you hustled for about 2.5 hours, and then the teacher sent you outside. Well, believe it or not, that is actually an intelligent thing to do, because when you took that break, your brain is still working on all the things that you're doing. And hopefully you can hear me, because Apryl's looking at Alicia and it looks kind of weird. So I don't know if you can hear me or not. So hopefully you can still hear me. Okay, good. And so what happens is your brain is still processing all the things that you're working on. However, you're taking a moment to recharge your battery. And when you got back, you probably realized that, boom, you were more focused, and you were able to get right back into it. So as an adult, we forget about that. And we think that, oh, you know what, I'll let me just finish 3 more projects. Let me do this, this, and this, and I'll go to bed early or something. But there's a lot of research that shows that the more and more that you work, it starts to become a diminishing returns. You're more likely to make more mistakes than, having stopped and put it aside and gone home. And they also show, there's even more research that shows that when you don't sleep enough, it's almost as if you were drunk. So this is why it's so important to do that. But as busy professionals who haven't been doing this a while, this may be a challenge for you. And you have what is called homeostasis. So Alicia and April, if you can do this for me, if you can cross your arms the way that you normally cross your arms, just cross your arms.
All right, we're doing this.
Just cross your arms in a normal way. All right, cool. That feels normal, right?
I think we did.
Yeah.
Right?
Like
Cool.
the fingers over here. Okay.
Now reverse it. Cross it the other way. Right? That feels kind of awkward. April's kind of struggling with it. That feels awkward, right? All right, go back to normal. You can just put it down, shake it out. So
now I don't know what normal is.
Exactly. And so as an adult that may be play deprived or play atrophied, to consider giving yourself free time for play may feel awkward. And so what I invite you to do, just like what April said, is how can you incorporate it in bite-sized chunks? Maybe start to have that body awareness of what parts during your day when you start to feel a depletion of energy, and put little 5-minute markers, meeting markers, so that you can do something that is going to revitalize you. And it could be something as simple as walk around your office. I'm pretty sure Alicia can give you a million different exercises that can boost your energy. But the main thing is to have that awareness and be willing to do that, because the research shows that if you have this awareness to say, you know what, I'm feeling depleted and I'm going to play as a power up, you will use it as so. However, if you use play as an escape, you know what, oh my gosh, I can't deal with work today, I'm just going to just play Candy Crush. Well, then it's going to be that cycle where instead of doing the things that you need to do, you're going to use play as an escape tool, and you're not going to get the benefits. So it needs to be something where you have that mindset to say, I'm going to play for X, and you set aside some time and do it. Now, as far as the things that you could do to revitalize yourself, there's some physical play. You can also have some mental play. I have a lot of those little gadget toys at my desk that when I feel like I need a boost, I'll break it out. And for 5 minutes, I'll play with some of those like Rubik's Cube type toys that you can get at those gift stores. Sometimes that's just enough to give you that boost of dopamine and endorphins to help you focus and get through the rest of the day. So there you have it.
Yay.
As adults, we get too serious sometimes in life. I love that you emphasize on playing. I thank you. I'm like, I know the importance of playing, but I'm going to make some time to play more often.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is why I have Gary in my life to just remind me all the time. Not that I don't love to play all the time anyways, but it's one of those things that is super, super important that we always need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that in terms of tactics, I know that we've talked about a lot of different things, but I think that you wanted to offer a meditation maybe?
Yes.
Should I move or should I just do it here with you?
No, you could do it with me here.
Gary's going to meditate in the car he's in and miss his stop or whatever.
I also lightly just wanted to share what intuitive stretching is too before we get into it. Okay. So if you are feeling that you just have like a bunch of pent up energy and you need to just move, intuitive stretching, you don't need to like be a professional yogi or like know anything about fitness. You just will let the body move and just see what feels good. And just finding that time, right, to connect with your body, whether you're just patting your arms and just cradling your shoulders, you just have a tight shoulder. Maybe you feel called to release some sound out of the body.
Sorry,
sometimes I have to let out a loud random scream. Like if I'm feeling frustrated, I just need to like let it out, you know, just finding ways to stretch the body.
She makes me do these, like, what is it called when you have to like make this breath where it's like you're putting energy in your throat? I don't remember what it's called, but
the box breathing?
No, it's like the I don't know.
She's talking about the Ujjayi
breath. Okay, so I sit there and I'm like, I can't do it because
so essentially
I'm embarrassed.
Ujjayi, you just and then constrict. So it's a slight, like a gentle hum. And this is how you can just start to clear your throat center. It's a good one. You can just. I always like to come and connect to my throat when it comes to responding to a sticky situation. Usually when I take that time to get quiet, clear a little bit, whatever I say is way better than what I would have reactively said. So Ujjayi exhaling.
That makes me embarrassed. I don't know why. I'm like, I'm working on it.
See, and as kids, we don't get embarrassed about little things. Like I teach preschoolers and I'll have us meow and moo, which in Kundalini yoga, you really tap into using more sound. So I find it interesting as adults, we get so nervous around unleashing our voice and feeling silly and goofy. So the more that we lean into that edge, it eventually will feel comfortable with the Ujjayi.
I know.
The more we lean into it. But let's get into the meditation. So whenever you guys need to stretch, this is a great way. You come home from work, you find where you tune in, you scan your body, you stretch into that space, you breathe into that space, and then you sit your butt down and you enjoy a meditation. Either you guys can start to develop a relationship with sound healing tools. This is the Tibetan sound bowl. You can get it at like a spirit bookshop or like more of an art store. I got mine at a Native American shop, so you can find them pretty much almost anywhere, but you can for sure find them on Amazon. So we'll start to close our eyes.
We'll just do this for like a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We'll just lead through the body. We'll start to do an intuitive body scan. Begin to take big breath in through your nose for 3, 2, 1, and hold. And then exhale out the nose. Breathing in through the nose. Hold. And then as you exhale, start to scan your toes. Begin to breathe into your feet as you breathe in through the nose. And then hold as you scan your foot. Beginning to connect with the heel and the arch, and then exhale, washing the feet clear. Beginning to breathe all the way up the ankles and legs. And just starting to feel the energy flow through the legs like a running stream of water. Inviting the element of water to cleanse the legs as they move and guide you forward. Offering stability and foundation. And just starting to breathe into the knees and releasing out the knees. Inviting the breath to travel all the way up the legs, meeting at the hips, meeting at the base of your spine. And just starting to relax all the muscles in the low body. Beginning to feel the breath grow lighter and lighter. And start to expand and open the navel. Start to open the ribs as you breathe in through the belly button. And then slowly exhaling out your heart space, relaxing your shoulders, your neck, and just starting to travel down and out the hands. Feeling connected to every part of your body as you feel your breath cleansing each and every cell. Drawing in through the ears and directing the breath down into the throat. starting to enhance your wheels of communication as you tune in to any subtle sensations in the body. Feeling more and more relaxed as the brow softens, softening the cheeks and the jaw, and beginning to take note of any subtle shifts. Feeling the tongue drift away from the roof of the mouth. And as this stream of water washes through your entire body, you begin to clear the mind. You begin to purify the mind and body as one with the heart and breath. And as this water moves down your entire body like a waterfall, feeling crisp, cool, and completely open to washing away the day, and feeling completely grounded and connected to your body. Tuning into the entire body as you breathe into each organ and cell, breathing into the pores in your hairs. And just starting to take note where you're holding any tension. And just simply release. Simply let go of any reoccurring thoughts. Coming to a quiet space for 5 breaths. Feel called to Ujjayi, you may. And on your next inhale, invite the energy to rise back up through the feet and base of spine. And then exhale, washing all the way down and out the feet. And when you're ready, start to wiggle your hands and your toes. And bring a smile on your face as you place your hands on your heart. And just gently invite 3 things into your heart that you love about yourself and that you're grateful for. And slowly open the eyes.
Yay.
So that is a bit of a great grounding technique that you can either start your day with or you can end your day with. So it's kind of just knowing you personally, do you wake up feeling more stressed or do you come home feeling more stressed? And it's just tuning into that body awareness that Apryl emphasizes on. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that.
Yeah. I'd be the type of person that needs to do this at night because this is our first webinar. It was like a little bit crazy trying to deal with this new setup and all this stuff. And so I was, definitely a little nervous and stressed, and we had a little bit of a rocky start, but now I feel super calm. Then I'll start getting crazy again and using all that energy, but that was awesome. And so what's great about this is that you can take this video if you feel like, okay, I need to wind down a little bit. You can just fast forward to this section and do this meditation. You get this free guided meditation by Alicia, and you can use it whenever you need it. And of course, I'm sure that there's all these other meditation recordings or different things that you can tap into. So this isn't the only one, but here's another resource that we can share with you. So that was super helpful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Looks like Gary dropped off again, but I just wanted to thank you guys for being at our first live ASC webinar series call. This is number 1. Put that pep back into your step. Alicia, it was so great to have you, and we're actually going to take the remaining 15 minutes of this call offline with the rest of the ASC, and we're going to share some tactics to really tackle one feeling that tends to perpetuate every so often in our group, which is overwhelm, trying to deal with the craziness of life and more than ever, we need to preserve that energy as much as possible. So we're going to create a nice little tool and video for some exercises that we can use in those times that we feel super overwhelmed. But this is the end of the free live call, and want to thank you guys if you're watching it live or on replay. Thank you so much for checking us out. Next month, we're going to talk about annual planning. That's usually our theme in October because we like getting things ready for the next year a few months ahead so that we have enough lead time and we're not getting in that place of stress. So I hope you tune in to that. I will share the dates and details very, very soon, but hope you enjoy this video and we will see you soon. Thank you so much. Thank you, Alicia.
All right. Bye. Bye.